Alright, so the spool for the transmission has stripped out the little grub screws, stripped out, so you can see. I drilled all the way through it. It's not focusing, but you can see the light. Drilled all the way through it, and now this is one of the pins that come in the little diff. I'm going to put that right through there. So now it has a pin that goes all the way through. So that should make it stronger. It doesn't have any grub screws. We'll see if that shaft is strong enough. If it breaks again, then I'm just going to JB weld this whole thing. But this is a quick fix. I'm going to hold it in there with a little bit of grease. And we'll see if that is any stronger than it was before. Alright, some of you are asking about the mods I've done to this Bigfoot so that they can actually do, it's like take all the abuse that I do when I go to the skate park and the sand dunes and all that, because if I didn't do all this, it would definitely not survive. So I think I've showed you guys before that I replaced all the arms with these aluminum ones, and I believe these are made by ST Racing. I believe these are the really thick ones. These are not they make some that are lightweight. These are the heavy duty ones, the ones that are real big and beefy. And then I had to write some of this down. The hinge pins are, let's see here, ST Racing arm bolts. So these are, they bolt through and they have a locking nut on there. You see right there. And then I have the hinge pin brace. Actually, I guess I didn't write down who I got the hinge pin brace from. You can see that right in here. There's a hinge pin brace that protects it when it impacts. It keeps, because if you fix the arms, it's just going to find the next weakest link, which it'll tear this out. So you need that hinge pin brace right there. And you can barely see it, but I made one for the rear, which is bowed out a little bit. It's not very strong. The reason why it bows out is because it impacts when it lands like this, and it forces these together, which makes it bow out, because there's not enough. If I put one here, it'll drag when it lands, it'll just rip it right off. So I can't put one there. And then this, not the best, there it goes. It's something. It's a little thin and it doesn't block the vents, because your motor this is the weakest link in the whole truck here. The reason why I haven't changed that is because it's already a wheelie monster. You know, if I put the brushless in there, it's just going to make it worse. But I might do it eventually, because all these little holes here, when I take it to the sand dunes, the sand just fills this thing up. So the brushless motor is a little more protected. So I might get a brushless motor just for that part. Drive shafts, that was another thing. I go through a lot of drive shafts, where I was. But these are Integy or Integy, something like that. They're steel, and you have to lube them real good because they'll rust inside there. But yeah, these are, I haven't had any trouble with these. And I'm running 40 weight in the stock. These are the stock shocks in the back. The front ones are all aluminum. I had some aluminum ones for the back, but I couldn't stop them from leaking, so I took them off. And these are kind of leaking a little bit too. You know, you do what you got to do, you know. This is a high-tech, all-metal servo. The stock one lasted like a week, something like that. And underneath, it's a Hot Racing. Can you see it? Hot Racing heavy-duty servo saver. I'm still running a servo saver, because if you don't, it just puts the stress out here and you start breaking stuff out here. But the servo savers are not very strong. This one's pretty strong, but I mean, the regular ones don't last me a day. So when you take it to the skate park or something. So you get this heavy duty one here. Now this one's so strong it'll actually bend the bolt. It always finds the next weakest link. So it bends the bolt, so you have to replace the bolt every now and then sometimes it'll strip out the little plastic adapter that connects the servo saver to the servo. And unfortunately, Hot Racing does not sell that separately, so you're going to wind up buying a whole other servo saver, which, whatever. If I take that off and get rid of it, it'll start breaking out here. These are the Traxxas heavy-duty turnbuckles. These are the Hot Racing bearing carriers. This is the Traxxas upright, whatever you call that. These are Traxxas in here, these little camber links. And I've replaced a lot of the, I bought one of these. This is the stainless steel screw set for the Traxxas Stampede in Russia. I go through a lot of these little crappy screws that come with it, and I'll replace them with a bolt that goes all the way through and it has a nut on it or something like that, or just a longer bolt that sticks out a lot better. And if you see these look like these are shoestrings. They're limit straps, so when you impact upside down, you know, if this tire's on here and it hits right here, these limit straps keep the shocks from being destroyed. And it works. They're ugly, but it works, and I have them on all four corners. That's why I do all that crazy stuff, and I still have a stock shock back here, and it hasn't destroyed itself. It hasn't ripped the cap off or anything. Got the Proline trenchers. Now these things will round out your hex nuts, but I have, let's see what I got. Hot Racing aluminum ones. I haven't put them on yet because I haven't needed to yet, but I got them just in case. I keep extra battery clip just in case I break that. The pinion gear is stock. I need the torque, so I haven't put this higher speed one. These trenchers are good tire. I really like them a lot, but they do round out your hexes. Oh, I have a Hot Racing spool in here. You will have to repair that. It will not last the way it comes from Hot Racing. I showed in the beginning of the video how I had to drill it out. I don't know why Hot Racing doesn't do that from the factory. It looks like it would actually require less engineering, but whatever, you know, it's something you have to do.